Guys, the crypto markets have been absolutely smashed. We are all waiting for a small, tiny bounce, a tiny pullback, and then most of the people are going to sell everything and exit crypto forever. Everybody is shocked. How can we go to $80,000 from $126,000 within a matter of just 45 days? This is insane, guys. In this episode, guys, I am going to discuss what is going on in the markets, why are we dumping, and what should you be doing, because if you do not pay attention right now, you might lose everything. As always, guys, nothing is going to be financial advice, but I will discuss my personal plan, how I'm playing the market. And if you enjoy this type of content, guys, then do not miss any part of this episode because this is going to be very interesting. Now, guys, let's get right into it.
Now that I've been put through hell, I never got anyone's help. I had to do it all myself.
So guys, welcome back and thanks for joining me yet again. Bitcoin has absolutely broken all key levels of support and actually hit $80,500. This is where we bounced off from last time. But is this the bottom, or are we going lower and lower? Guys, the problem is we are in a state of market where nobody wants to buy because they are waiting for lower prices, because 90% of the people are convinced that we are in a bear market. Now, at the moment, guys, if I talk about the technicals, what we are looking out for is basically either a W, X, and Y towards the downside. That would be your finished correction, and that could lead prices back towards the new all-time highs. Tom Lee has been saying that, we are still going to hit $175,000 or $200,000. Eric Trump has been saying that we are still going to hit $175,000 by the end of this year itself. I don't believe all of this. All right, I don't believe. What I need to see is price action. What I need to see is conviction. And how do I actually find that conviction? I will find it with a solid reversal back towards the upside. But right now, you can see the volume is the highest in the last move towards the downside on the daily time frame. That is not looking good. What it means is basically the probability of this to be just a correction towards the downside and reclaiming new all-time highs remains to be the lowest. And the highest probability scenario at the moment is going to be a multi 1-2 impulse towards the downside, where you have 1-2, and then again you have 1-2, 1-2. This is your wave 3. You're looking for a 4-5, 4-5, and then a larger 4 towards the upside, and then again another move towards the downside as your last wave 5. That could take prices way below $74,000 as well. That is the truth. That is what you see on the charts. All right. That is the highest probability scenario as well. And that is why it is very, very unlikely that you are going to be able to catch this bounce towards the upside. Now, guys, if I dive deeper into the chart, then you can see right here, if this is your wave 3, you want to count a finished impulse towards the downside before you start talking about a move towards the upside as your wave 4, right? So if I go on to the hourly time frame, then I can basically conclude that this structure might just be already completed. But the problem is we have the highest volume in the recent low. Usually, guys, either the highest volume is going to be in a wave 3 or a wave C, or when we end some sort of a larger correction, larger move towards the upside or towards the downside. All right. So right here we have 1-2, 1-2. We have a 3 here. We have a 4 here, 5, another 4, another 5. Finished correction, right? From these highs right around here as well. If I talk about an impulse, then you can see right here, we have a 1, 2, 3, 4, and this is your wave 5, right? Now, the moment you actually touched this level, which is 84,765, you have invalidated the scenario where you could have had 1, 2, 3, 4, and then inside of your wave 5, you have 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 5. All right, because wave 5 can still be very much extended. But the moment you touched this level, which is 84,765, probabilities have now shifted quite a lot that you are going to see at least a move, at least a bounce towards the upside, which would be only a retrace, by the way. All right, most likely only a retrace. It's not necessary that we are going to bounce off so strong and we are going to basically reclaim $100,000. It is possible. Anything is possible. But the most likely scenario at the moment remains to be to witness an ABC towards the upside. We have our wave A right here. Potentially, we are still forming our wave B. So we could do a little bit of a chop here, reclaim these lows right around here maybe, and then we go higher again in our wave C. All right. What I would not want to see price doing is touch this level, which is, go below the $81,000 low, in my opinion. You could come back to like 82,500, but not below that, in my opinion. And, this is going to be a nice scalp long setup. Again, I'm not telling you to, go for any swing long setups on Bitcoin at the moment until unless we get some really cool signs of reversal. And the actual sign of reversal is way too far, guys. It's way too far. It feels like yesterday we were trading at $93,000. Now we are sitting at 84. It's like $10,000 drop within a day. All right. Anyway, the confirmation for a bigger move towards the upside is only going to come when we reclaim $97,000. Once we do that, you are looking at a potential move back up to $107,000. All right. Other than that, we are still looking for an ABC towards the upside, another low, ABC towards the upside, another low, and ABC towards the upside, and another low. And that is when you are going to end the higher time frame impulse towards the downside, because you are looking for 1 2 1 2 1 2 3 4 5 4 5 4 5. All right, that is what you would want to see. We have a chop here, we have a big move down. We would want to see another chop on lower volume with lower lows consistently forming, and then at a moment you will break out from here and look for higher prices. Even then, guys, the problem is you are most likely going to see a retrace back up, a bigger retrace, because then this is going to become A, and then we are looking for a B, and then we are looking for a C, which is going to be your bear market bottom, by the way. All right. Your wave B is very tricky because sometimes it can get rejected at the 0.5 Fibonacci. Sometimes it can get rejected at the 0.382, sometimes 0.618, sometimes it can even take the high of your wave A. All right. So you could still technically, even in the bearish case scenario, take the all-time highs and grab all of the liquidity. That is exactly what happened in the last cycle as well. If I show you right here, this was nothing different. We had a clear 3-wave move up in our wave B before the bigger correction towards the downside in our wave C. So this is still possible. And when price actually drops too quickly, too far, that is when, you would want a bigger retrace to flush out all of the people who believe that they are very smart and they have shorted the exact top of the bull market at $115,000 or $120,000. But little do they know that the market maker is watching them as well. It's not just going to be the pain for the people who went long. It's also going to be the pain for the people who are short right now and they are not paying themselves. All right. So if you're short, please pay yourself. In my opinion, the majority of the move down is already over. Now, what you're looking out for is basically profit taking in multiple 4-5s, even in the most bearish case scenario. The bullish case is basically an ABC is finished here and we are looking for higher prices yet again. Because guys, as I did mention on the Bitcoin update that I did yesterday on X, because I really felt that, I should give you this information. This was actually recorded for only Karoshi's private members. But then I realized that this is the time where, everybody out there needs to know the truth. Needs to know what are the key levels, because no level is actually holding, right? So anyway, I gave you an update and I also talked about one very important factor. And that was there is a possible scenario where you still continue your bull run. And that is, you have not broken the structure of the bull market on the higher time frame. We have higher highs consistently, and right now as well, we have a higher low. So until unless you break this level, convert it into resistance, you're still in a bull market, right? But that is something that, not a lot of people are going to focus on at the moment because the sentiment is bad. And I get it. I would also want to see some price action before I believe that the bull market is intact. All right. Most of my invalidation levels for a normal impulse towards the upside have been hit, right? So I don't want to be just blindly shooting in the dark. I would want to see a 5-wave structure up, bigger 5-wave impulse, 3-wave move down, continuation higher. That is what I would want to see. If that happens with increasing volume, that is where I believe that the bull market might just still continue, right? But right now, there are no signs. So right now, we don't have to plan so much ahead of time. What we need to plan for is we have to wait what kind of a structure forms. If this is a 3-waver towards the upside, one more thing, guys, I don't think that we are going to be testing this level, $107,000. A lot of people are waiting for this level to offload everything. I don't think we are going to be coming back into this region because a lot of people think that, when price actually breaks down below the 50 EMA on the weekly time frame, we always retest it. Right here, we have retested, right? Because that is your bear market confirmation, right? I don't think that is going to happen this time. We might go lower first. And if that happens, if this keeps on going down and down, guys, you might very well be already very close to the bear market bottom. Now, I have given a detailed explanation of everything about Bitcoin inside Karoshi's private. I did an exclusive update today as well, just before recording this video. So if you want detailed analysis on Bitcoin and what I am doing right now, my exact plan, when I'm selling, when I'm buying more, what I'm buying and all of these things, then guys, consider joining Karoshi's private. Right now, we are running a massive Black Friday discount. So if you are going to go for the monthly or the yearly option, you are getting a flat 40% discount on both of these offers. All right. It will be updated on the website as well before this video goes live. So make sure that you check it out. You can use the code BLACK for monthly or Black Friday for the yearly option, and you're getting flat 40% discount on the already discounted prices that you have right now. And it is only valid for a few days and only for 20 spots. So if you are going to miss this chance, guys, the prices are going to increase because I am adding a whole lot of new things inside Karoshi's private. In my opinion, guys, if it is a bear market or a bull market right now, the best thing that I can focus on is to provide more value for the same amount of money to the people who are inside Karoshi's private. So it becomes worthwhile to be in that zone. All right. And that is why I'm regularly updating one thing after the other to help you succeed in the market. So if you want to be with me, then guys, this is the place to be. And apart from that, guys, I did a very interesting tweet today. This was the first thing that I did in the morning. So food for thought. First off, if you're still surviving, congrats, guys, and enjoy the weekend. I'm telling you, enjoy the weekend. If you have friends, if you have family, if you have a wife or anything, basically, if you have kids, guys, spend some time with them today. It's really a great time to be away from the charts for at least like the weekend, right? The markets are not going anywhere. Anyway, secondly, here are a few things you must be aware of. So why did we actually see this kind of a dump towards the downside for Bitcoin, which nobody expected, right? So the primary reason for the market dump has been the news of delisting of MicroStrategy from national indexes, primarily because a company is only a company until it crosses 50% of its assets held in crypto. And MicroStrategy has 77% of its total assets in Bitcoin. Hence, it is now deemed as a fund according to MSCI, who manages all of the indexes and the listings, right? Now, the news actually hit the market. This is very interesting, guys, with a report just before the 10-10 liquidation flush, along with the US-China trade issues. However, MicroStrategy news, this particular news actually came into light yesterday with JP Morgan calling it out. And here's a response by Saylor himself. So this was the response. So basically what he wanted to say here is that he's pushing back by explaining that MicroStrategy isn't a passive fund of trust. It's an active business with $500 million in software revenue, and it innovates by issuing Bitcoin-backed financial products like bonds and credits worth over $7.7 billion this year. He says their long-term goal to build a digital monetary institution won't change no matter what MSCI decides. So he is unaffected, but there is going to be a voting on 15th of January when it will be decided if, MicroStrategy stays on the index or not, which I do think that they will be removed, and that would add more to the panic in my opinion, or that could lead into a reversal back up because the markets are always forward looking. So no matter what happens on 15th of January, that could be the trigger of a move back towards the upside as well. All right. One more thing that I want to mention here, guys, is, you would want to time the market, right? So according to Elliott Waves, you can right now time the market. And how do we do that? Let me just quickly show that to you guys. So basically what we were looking for is a 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, right? So all of this price action has been 1, 2s, and we are looking for 4, 5s. All right. And as you know, wave 4 is usually longer in time compared to your wave 2. So if all of this price action is your wave 1 and wave 2, then you can use a trend-based fib time extension from the high of your bull market, which we have seen so far, to the high of the last wave 2. And then you can put it right here. Even if, yesterday was the bottom, then also, guys, your wave 4 highs have to form after 5th of December and preferably could form after 27th of December as well. So you could have at least 1 month more of chop in this region without taking the 0.618 Fibonacci extension sitting at $97,000. So this would mean that for the next 1 month, it is possible that we might stay below $97,000. So just trade it with caution, guys. All right. A lot of people are expecting a move back up, to test the 200 EMA on the daily time frame, the death cross. Usually this is what happens in a bear market. You retest, you fail, and then you go lower. I don't think that is going to happen either. There could be a possibility that, we chop in this region for a little while, the 50 EMA starts to climb back down, and then that is where, we start to reject one more time. You would have 4, 5, 4, 5, and that is when, you would have a bigger push towards the upside. There will be a push, we could even reclaim the 200 EMA. All right. There is a possibility, high possibility, I would say. So nothing that everybody is expecting right now is going to happen in my opinion. But again, I might be completely wrong as well. So do not take my word for it. And this is not financial advice. But how do I play the market right now? So guys, for playing the market right now, you need to make a plan. All right. And before you make a plan, you need to understand what's up. Why is the market breaking? Why is everything collapsing? Right. So let's just go back to my tweet right here. It's very informative, guys. And you should follow me on X. All right. I'm doing a ton of informative posts on X just to keep you updated. So if you have not followed me on X, guys, make sure that you do so. It's at 0x_Karoshi. All right. Absolutely free. Right. Anyway. So with that being said, Bitcoin is now oversold now on multiple higher time frames like daily and even weekly. Let me just quickly show that to you as well. So if I go on to the daily time frame and you see the RSI, you're sitting at 22. When was the last time you were at 22? The last time you were at 25 was right here, when we were forming the lows at $79,000. We had a bounce of around 22%. And that is what everybody is expecting right now, which I don't think is going to happen, by the way. We might chop here without a specific bounce, a larger bounce, and then, the RSI might just come back up. That is what I think. The downside is limited right now, but the upside is not guaranteed. That is what I feel about the market at the current moment, all right, in the shorter term. Then the last time before that was when we were sitting right around here, right? The RSI was at 26. And even after that, we had another big flush towards the downside. So this could still happen, right? If we have a bigger push up, guys, then prepare for a bigger leg down and taking these lows as well. All right. So I don't want to see that. I think the better thing for the market is an extended cycle where you have some consolidation here, multiple 4-5s, 3-4-5s, as you can see right around here. If you see that, then there is a possibility of a larger move up, even taking the highs. All right. This could become an A, B, and C, where this is a flat correction. All right. So this is much better for the market. This is much better for the altcoins. Bouncing right now is straight up getting into a zone where everybody is thinking that you should sell everything and get out. Whatever you can get, you just take it and get out of the market. That is what everybody is thinking right now, right? So right now, a pump back towards the upside is going to be brutal for the market, in my opinion, for the medium term. All right. We are going to just keep on dropping lower and lower and lower. All right. Apart from that, guys, if I come back right around here, then you can see it's usual to expect a bounce in the market after Bitcoin losing close to 40% of its value in less than 2 months. However, the dream to go back above all-time highs and cross $150,000 is very much out of the window unless we actually go much lower to 57K first. So that is what I meant here. All right. If you actually keep on going down lower with multiple 4-5s, there is a potential of this move up. All right, to even $150,000 because the move is going to be crazy, guys. Let me just quickly show you how much we can still pump, in a dead cat bounce, which would still be a bear market, which would still be a bearish correction, but we could still go much, much higher. All right, wave B invalidation for a flat is going to be the 1.618 extension. So from the low, even if this is the low and we plot it over here, then you can see 1.618 is 155. Let's just suppose that price still goes lower, takes this low with multiple 4-5s, and maybe we are bouncing off from somewhere around here at like $66,000. Then your invalidation level for wave B is $163,000. And your most common price target in that case is this level, 140,000. So there is still a potential. We create 4-5, 4-5, 4-5. We have a 3-wave move up, a big 3-wave move up, hitting $140,000, getting everybody euphoric one more time. Alt season also happens in this period, most likely, in my opinion, because Ethereum, Solana, I think they will outperform Bitcoin in case we see something like this. And then we go lower one more time. That is a bear market. All right. That is still the possibility. So in my opinion, if you're looking for new all-time highs, you would want to see these 4-5, 4-5, 4-5, because the sentiment at the moment is very bad. All right. If you see this type of a chop, it is a slow capitulation. Right now, everybody is freaked out. All right. Everybody is tired. The market is very, very toxic. Crypto Twitter is very toxic. Everybody on YouTube is screaming bear market, bear market, bear market. Well, they were not saying that a month ago when we were sitting at $120,000. All right. You have to focus on something. The markets are always forward looking. All right. Right now, most people and traders are just thinking about short-term price action, while smart money is still looking for the longer term. All right. So this is still possible. All right. I'm not denying the fact, but this is still going to be a bear market, and I'll prove that to you with another chart in just a second. Now, guys, with that being said, not all altcoins will actually see their days in green again, in my opinion. Many will chop and do a 30-40% pump, which will not look significant the moment you zoom out. For example, if I show you this chart right here, it's say, then you can see we have been down only. All right. And you could see a bounce. All right. You could see something like this. This is still a big bounce, right? It's a 34% bounce. But if you zoom out, this is nothing. This is nothing to what we have seen. Right? So that is also something that you need to focus on. And there is a big possibility, guys, that altcoins, most of the altcoins, I would say 90% of the altcoins actually come back lower and fill the wick from 10-10, from 10th of October. There is a slight chance. All right. And that is why I'm not buying altcoins at the moment in spot at all. However, there are some altcoins which are strong because they have revenue, they have buybacks, dividends. For example, Uniswap recently announced dividends as well. And anything for, the benefit of the holders. They could still see great upside. Mindshare on crypto Twitter and YouTube could fuel this further. For example, we saw it happening with Zcash and recently Starknet and Aster as well. Right? The problem I see in the market right now is too much fragmentation. Earlier on, we used to see many coins from one narrative and not just one leader where people could safely ape into. Now the problem is even bigger with the number of coins from a number of different narratives. There are now too many narratives like AI agents, X402, DeFi, and then we have robotics, stable coins, neobanking, privacy, prediction markets, and so much more. So the average of the liquidity going into these markets becomes even more fragmented. That is the problem, right? We have to deal with it. This brings me to an important point that research is the most important thing right now. If it's a bear market, guys, invest in your education. Get better at reading charts, patterns, spotting early narratives, reading on-chain data, setting up alerts, using a plethora of AI tools that are now available, right? And that is why, guys, I suggest you that you join 𝗕𝗪𝗪𝗧𝗧 Private if you wish, because if you want to invest in yourself, this is going to be the best place. I am doing multiple new courses as well for the members of 𝗕𝗪𝗪𝗧𝗧 Private, and things are just going to escalate even in a bear market, in my personal opinion. I'm doing everything that I can do to keep everybody entertained and keep everybody in the right space of mind when things look absolutely shit. All right. Apart from that, guys, the trust is gone. Over the last 12 months, I've seen people with money and people with no money both acting very arrogantly and, PvPing the entire ecosystem. It's been very toxic to be a part of this, honestly. And you guys know very well. Anyway, Ethereum, Solana, BNB haven't really kicked off anything. And that is one of the biggest problems that I see in this bull market. And maybe it became just so much saturated that we could never get any euphoria. The only revolution I could see happening this cycle so far has been the invention of pump fund, virtuals, and hyperliquid. And just recently, a more privacy-oriented option of Aster DEX, right? Apart from these, what was the revolution of this cycle? Not just the coins with hype and short-term, multiple X's, but real stuff that changed something. I don't really see anything. And that's the issue. If the industry stops innovating, the industry stops growing. All right. We have to play the market like it was supposed to be. We just changed everything, guys. A lot of money was lost with meme coins and a lot of people got into meme coins and a lot of YouTubers actually shifted their content towards meme coins. This was not only a meme coin channel. If you have been following me since like the beginning of the time, I've been creating videos for more than 3 years now. All right. And if you have been following me, I've not been the guy who just talks about meme coins. But that is what the people want to see. So that is what, KOLs and YouTubers give. That is something that, not everybody is going to accept, but I will accept it. All right. That is the truth. We have to change this. We have to focus on doing more research and being more careful instead of just chasing short-term hype. All right. Anyway, guys, that is the entire theory that I wanted to discuss with you all today. If you are caught up with this move towards the downside, there is a plan. There is a plan to exit the market. There is a plan to be there, even if we see this big leg towards the upside in our wave B. All right. What is that plan? Guys, there are two possible scenarios here. Focus on the chart of Bitcoin and nothing else. Right now, I would not suggest you to buy anything in spot, and I would not suggest you to sell anything in spot either. What you need to focus on is wait for the structure to form. As you can see right here, we have multiple 1-2s here. All right. We would want to see multiple 4-5s here. All right. And those multiple 4-5s are likely going to be looking something like this. We might be having a broadening wedge for the multiple 4-5s. All right. It is possible. Or we might have a falling wedge as well. Something like this is also quite possible. You would want to see multiple 4-5s like this and then a breakout. Once that happens, you are looking for a bigger move. All right. Naturally, you're looking for a bigger move. You could come back and reclaim $100,000 in my opinion. That could be a nice trap. All right. And we could reclaim the 200 EMA and the 50 EMA as well. That is also possible. So you are waiting for this. This is the best scenario. This is the most risk-free scenario as well. If you want to stay risk-free, wait for something like this. If you want to take more risk, wait for just a reclamation of $97,000. That is the key level. You wait for that. Until unless we do that, we are not looking for anything good. All right. The bearish case is still going to be this. And then we have a three-way move up. We might get rejected here, or even create a new all-time high. And then we go lower one more time. All right. The bullish case is going to be a completion of the structure here. We have an ABC towards the downside, and now we are looking for higher prices. But for that, we would want the first confirmation, and that is going to come when we reclaim $97,000. It's as easy as that. If you can get a move back up and you have a wave 4, which does not retrace to the 0.618, and then you're looking for higher prices. All right. If you get a 5-way move up, which breaks past $97,000 right now, then you could be looking for higher prices yet again. All right. Your invalidation level becomes this right here at $74,000. Apart from that, guys, one final thing that I want to share in this particular episode itself, I basically, this was just the gist of what I actually wanted to show you, but videos actually get way too long, right? So I don't want to be, doing a very long video on YouTube. I've already discussed everything, even my bear market price targets and where I'm going to be buying Bitcoin, where I'm going to be selling a few things and what things. I've already shared all of those things inside Karoshi's Private. So if you want to join, first off, guys, please take advantage of the Black Friday deal because it is going to be the best offer that you get ever. I can promise you on that. 40% discount on monthly and 40% discount on the yearly offer as well. Use code BLACK for monthly and use code Black Friday for yearly. Let me just quickly show you how it works. So when you click on either of these two options, you can pay by crypto or pay by card. If you go for a card, you are going to see something like this. So instead of paying $1,297 per year, you are going to be putting this code Black Friday and you click on apply. The moment you apply it, you will get a 40% discount and then you have to pay only $778 for the entire year. That is the best offer I think I have ever done for Karoshi's Private, and it is going to be the best indeed because this will not be repeated. I can promise you that. If you even go for the monthly option, which is going to cost you $167 right now, if you go and apply the code BLACK, click on apply, then you are getting a 40% discount on that as well and only $105. And this discount is not just available for 1 month. It is available for all the subsequent months that you stay inside Karoshi's Private. So if you want to take advantage, guys, the link is given in the description section below. So please do take advantage and join us inside Karoshi's Private. If you have this common misconception that people cannot make money in a bear market, guys, I will prove you wrong. If you are inside Karoshi's Private, we will still win consistently and regularly with all of the people that are inside Karoshi's Private. All right. Apart from that, guys, that is almost everything that I wanted to discuss with you all. But one final thing that I want to also discuss is if this keeps on continuing towards the downside, guys, just in case, we see a bigger move towards the downside and we keep on going down, because right now we haven't really, seen any signs of big reversal towards the upside. So the thing is, guys, you are looking for something like this, where you have a wave 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 finished here. And then you are looking for a larger ABC towards the downside. That is your bear market. All right. There is a theory, which I did mention, in the text post as well, right around here. There's, of course, another theory to all of this, which does contradict my points to an extent and favor the extended cycle theory. What is that? So let's just quickly discuss that as well. So in that particular case, guys, what you're looking out for is an ABC here. From these highs to the lows, you're going to plot a trend-based Fibonacci extension to the highs right around here. Your first target for an ABC flat is 1.618 extension at $71,800. And the second target is going to be from the high right here to the low right here. You're going to plot it again. And this is your price target. I've shifted it to the log scale because we are dealing with very high time frame. And that is what I do. So this is your box. All right. So there is a slight chance, guys, that we could see a larger correction as well. All right. What would that look like? So just in case we keep going lower and we come back into this box first before seeing any kind of a reversal towards the upside, the larger wave B, if you do something like this and then come back up, create something like this, take the highs or, have a 3-way move up here, and then we look for low prices, that is a different scenario. But just in case we have a move towards the downside, which keeps on going down and, we come back into this region, this orange box between $53,000 to $71,000. If that happens, guys, there is a slight possibility we could be in a larger correction, all right, which would be looking something like this. We have an ABC here. We could have another 3-way move up, which could also take the highs, but preferably it will not. That would be your wave X. This move down will be your wave W. And then we look for another wave towards the downside as our wave Y. So this would be a larger correction where Bitcoin is basically range bound between $50,000 and $110,000 or $100,000 for the rest of the next year, all right, which is 2026. And then we see the bigger leg up to $200,000 plus. That is your extended cycle theory, in my opinion. It is very unlikely at the moment with the current sentiment and the news that is going around Bitcoin that we see a V-shaped recovery from here straight back to all-time highs, and that is sustained. All right. That is something that I would like to end this episode with. And I hope, guys, that you still have some money. And if you do, please save it, preserve your capital. Whenever you see the signs of reversal, you focus on the plan, make a plan. It could be your own plan as well, or you can focus on the plan that I have shared with you all today. And I hope this was helpful, guys. If it was, please make sure that you drop a like and also smash that subscribe button and ring the bell notification icon so that you can be notified whenever I put up another update. That's all, guys. I'll see you in the next one. Till then, keep hustling.
Slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up.